Hey guys, what's up? It's Dave. I'm going to go over my watch list for the week. My old watch list, it was outdated and I just deleted it all. So I'm starting it fresh because a lot of the names on there, they're underneath their 20s and their 50 moving averages. And if I'm going to trade them long, I do not trade those names long. So I just restarted. I've been working on a lot of scans lately, or a couple of them. I've been trying to fine tune. And so I'm starting off with names from these scans because it's good to know that the names that I'm looking at have some sort of back test that helps support my decision. So let me show you what this scan is. Here's my window-specific filters, okay? Here's the overall summary of what these stocks are. This is the Squeeze Me scan. The biggest thing here is position, where is it? Short float, minimum of 20%, right? So I'm looking for stocks that are minimum of 20%, $5 or more, and earnings date's already passed, and then also position in 5-day range. I don't care too much about, well, I do. Ideally, it's near the highs of the 5-day range. So let me back test for you real quick. We can go, let's just give the market 15 minutes to work itself out in the mornings. Give ourselves 5 minutes to enter at the end of the day. And we will hold this for, let's go tomorrow plus 9 days, so 10 days total. Risk management, I'll leave that off for now. Advanced, we're going to test for 65 days, okay? And this is at market close. So if I just run this and hit simulate buy, this is showing an equity curve. And we'll go from there, let this being tested. So this is pretty cool. It shows you the win rate as it goes, profit factor for each of the trade, and then obviously here's just how much completed. This is just green versus red. And then they're showing the equity curve here. It's going to be finished shortly. So total trades 223, 2.08 profit factor, decent equity curve, 4.1 strategy, annual return is 20%, and that's starting equity. You know, if we go $25,000, that's what we're looking at. So that's what that shows. I like it. It's at least a 2% profit factor strategy return. When I back tested this a while, maybe last week, the strategy percent return was a lot higher, but market conditions change. Either way, it's good to know what is being tested behind here, okay? Next, I'm going to show you the 10 SMA tag filter alert that I have. Let me show you the summary here. So I'm looking for stocks that are making new lows, and then also kind of like they're at their 10 SMA. Basically, that's the gist of it. Let me back test it for you here real quick. Same thing. We'll give it 15 minutes to open. Give us 5 minutes. Time to exit. We'll go tomorrow plus 9. So 10 days total. We'll leave stop loss on. Let's back test the past 65 days, and we'll go simulate buy. Let's let this run. We'll see what happens here. Last time I ran this, I run them nearly every week, just to make sure profit factors are staying. This is still profitable over time, making sure it has enough trades, things like this. And so I use these to show what names are available, and what names are kind of falling into this setup that I've created, mostly using the 10 SMA. I use the EMA mostly, but I test the 10 SMA because that's the only one I can. I'm not too worried about the differences between the two. They're areas anyways. And so you can see that the win rate here is pretty solid. Profit factor is wicked. We'll see if that's actually true once things come up here. So basically, this is saying that X profit factor, X win rate. We'll see what how much, depending on account size, you can make, like profit percentage or annual return, anything like that. What can be possible there? But basically, this is saying you buy at the 10 SMA, maybe a little bit below I think I have it at like 0.1% under the 10 SMA. And we'll see what this comes up with here. So profit factor, look at that equity curve, huge. Profit factor, 5.32. Strategy, 21%, 161% annual return, 320 total trades. So this is pretty solid. So what I just did is I went through the top lists that I have of these, and then the top lists basically mimic the alerts. They're not quite the same, but then I also you can look through the names on like the history of last trading day, all time, previous trading day, things like that. So I went through the names, okay? And this is what I came up with. So here is my updated watch list. This is the plans that I have going in. So let's organize this by percent short float, because why not? I like that the most. Firstly, CRK, Comstock. You can see 12 days to cover, 31% short float. You can see, I think this is breaking out of a stage 1. Not necessarily, but what I like is you can see that level. It broke it. It's been respecting it, flagged down to the 20 EMA, undercut it, and now it's just been going. On Friday, it's kind of an engulfing bearish candle. However, look at the volume. It's low volume. So they pushed this pretty low on low volume. What I'm looking for is for maybe a retest of this 1590. So this would be a breakout and a retest. It would be nice to have a 10 EMA confluence with that as well. UPST, I traded that somewhere around here. I sold it, I don't know, probably somewhere around here. Actually, in this big old red day, I gave all that up. But now it's back at its high. So I'm looking for a continuation on this. I'll set an alert back here at the highs. And we'll see if it passes that. If it does, the short float is 27%. So BKKT, I like the rounding bottom here. I'll keep it nice and simple. So this is like a reverse of an H, where that's mostly a bearish strategy. So huge volume pump here. What we can even do is we can anchor a VWAP to that large volume and see where that pops up. And it's hitting it right now. So we might get some supply in here, but looking at the 60-minute time frame, I typically trade off the 65. I also have pre-market in here. You can see this level here. It's been acting as resistance, but it's creating higher lows against that within the past couple of days here. So I will be looking for that to break. You can see I have the alert sign there. Next, ACHR, Archer Aviation. 25% short float. I'm looking for this 88.60 level to break for a continuation. You see it's been a strong move. So it's just been kind of consolidating-ish, but it's creating higher lows versus this 88.60 level. So I'll be watching a break of that. WB Weibo Corporation, sure. 23% short float. I like the break of this level here, and it's kind of holding that level. You can see it's had 4 days of consolidation last week, so I'm looking for a continuation of after breaking this here, holding it, tagging the 10 EMA. This is a pretty solid look to me, so I would be interested if it broke. I think that's Thursday's high, maybe with a stop underneath there. AI, another one that struggles at this 39.70 level, but it's getting tight here. EMAs are going on up. 5 SMAs starting to curl back up, and we got 23% short float. BE, similar look. It's kind of eaten up all this entire move. I think that's from Tuesday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So it's hitting the supply, potential supply here, but you can see big gap, big volume. If we anchor a VWAP to it, you can see that it came back. So this would be a large volume pullback, anchor VWAP, pullback to the large volume node there. And then it's starting to pull away again. And you can also see it's got 20 EMA confluence too. RUM, another high short float, big push on this day, 12.6. We could also anchor a VWAP on there if we really wanted to, which I like to do. You can see it's holding that now. A lot of bottoming tails, a lot of topping tails. So there's a fight going on here. Just one thing to be aware of is this area is potential supply. So this 915-ish, 9 to not, no, I'll say 880 to 915. So it's a pretty rather large range that acts as this supply. So it's a super choppy name, but shorter term, maybe a little momentum play. I think this thing can get going. SRRK, I like this one. Big gap, unable to fill it. Okay. You can see this thing kind of likes to gap up, I guess, and trend sideways. However, this time it is indeed respecting the 10 EMA. So big push off, kind of retesting this breakout level, consolidating, taking 3 days of rest here, or at least this price ranges of 42.30 to 41, letting the 10 EMA catch up while these guys are just pointing upwards. So it has a 21% short fill. RVLV, I'm looking for a break here as everything consolidates. Next, GTLS. I've been watching this for the past couple weeks. I like this name because it flagged to the 10 EMA. Now it's just consolidating. I really like this look. This is one of my favorites for the week. I'll mark that later. IONQ, IONQ, however you guys, whatever you want to say. This has been a strong mover, right? Finally pulled back to the 20 EMA. It's the first time we get a little bit of volume, 12% move. This guy is whippy. So you could, I don't know, if I were to trade it, I'd have a larger stop on there. Rocket Lab hitting the 20 EMA, pushing off on decent volume. Where's the RVOL on this? Why can't I? Oh, 0.82, nothing too crazy, but short float 13%. If it can clear this level right here, I would be interested. Especially for a break or a retest of those highs and a potential breakout to those highs. SOFI, let's get my connection back there. I am looking for a break of that level there. That's 1625. It's a nice pullback, tags at 20 EMA, 5 SMA, 10 EMA pointing upwards at its highs. Nice short float of 13%. XMTR, you can see this is bottoming tails. It is indeed holding that consolidation breakout range so far with bottoming tails with a 10% short float. So right here, this is what I'm referring to. Bottom, kind of retested it, pushed out, retest, pushed out, retest, push out. Okay, so I really like XMTR as well. Fresh, kind of triangled here, kind of failed to do so. That's a little sloppy. So I'm actually going to delete that. I don't like that anymore. But either way, you can see that that level has been a challenge for it. But if it continues to put in higher lows with the 10 EMAs curling on up, it has potential, especially with a 6.5 short float. AFRM, I really like this consolidation. Just simply looking for the break of those highs as it respects the uptrending 5, 10, and 20 EMAs. The 5 is the SMA. CRDO, it broke out higher, looking for continuation. I'm just watching this one. I missed the trade already. I'm not chasing this thing when it's already up 11%, but it's a decent look. WBD, this would be like a third day continuation play. I like this large volume, then followed by a rest day, and it's an inside day. It did not give up any more than 50% of the move. So I will be looking for a break of those highs here for potential continuation. Stop loss would go at 1190 below the low of Friday. That's how I would play that. PLTR, I traded that up here, sold early, missed a decent chunk, sold off. This kind of looked like a top to me, but looks like I could be wrong, which should shock nobody. 10, 20 EMAs, 5 SMA pointing upwards. You got a nice little 4% move. Short float, 4%. Nothing too crazy. SSRM, this is that consolidation look. So this is kind of like a stage 1 consolidation. It broke out of it. I'm looking for either a pullback to retest that area or the first pullback to the 10 SMA to potentially get involved here. So we see nice low volume here as it trends sideways, and then here we go. We're getting a big volume pump here. So with an RVL of 1.92, something is indeed going on. So I will be watching that. I don't know, maybe it respects the 5 SMA, not 100% sure. Maybe I'll put in an alert if it breaks Friday's high to the upside. But it kind of looks like a longer term reversal play. Tesla, of course, I'm not going to, I will always be looking, Tesla's a name I always watch. I will always be looking for a name in Tesla or a trade in Tesla. I will not be chasing this. I traded it down at 352. I sold it at like 383, and I missed a huge move. I sold it down here, and I missed the rest of it, which is fine. I managed my risk, so I'm good. Net, I'm looking for a break of these highs here as it consolidates, lets the 10 EMA catch up. So this is kind of time correcting instead of price correcting. Time correctors are stronger markets versus, so this is a price correction. This is a time correction. So this is more of a price pullback to the 10 EMA, and now price is just kind of consolidating and chopping sideways through time and letting the 10 EMA catch up. I have 2 separate setups in my book for that, or my playbook. NWL, you can see that this tagged the 10 EMA. RVOL increased a little bit here, but you can see the 2.5% short float. I also like that it was unable to take out the low of this green, this large green bar, and this was unable to fill the gap also. And so that would be my risk level. If it wants to come back down, maybe in the shorter term, let's see what it can do in the 30-minute maybe. So there, I'd kind of want it to retrace. I'd want it to break this 1105 first, maybe come up here, tag this potential supply area around 1130, and then pull back to set a higher low versus this 1079. That's what I would look for in a shorter time frame to trade this overall look. If it wanted to chop, consolidate, then start curling on back upwards, that's what I'd look for. And then Marvel, I missed this guy. Did he close? Where did he close at? 120.77. Yeah, he closed at its highs. He closed at the breakout. Unable to fill the gap. Big volume. 3.8 RVOL. 85% held, and the short float. Yeah, so that's a solid look. That would be a second day continuation play. AVGO, I forgot to add this guy to my list. Plans to enter. This would also be a second day continuation play, especially because, why are you saying there's no data available on sillies? Let's reload this here. I'm curious. Short float is 16% short float. I don't know why that didn't show up in my scan, but that's okay. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on. Those are some names. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Hopefully I gave you guys some good ideas. If you like this stuff, if you have any feedback for me, any thoughts, ideas, anything like that, connect with me. Otherwise, subscribe, share, like, all the good stuff. I appreciate your time. If you want trade ideas, this stuff is awesome. I just showed you some back testing today, created the scans, the top list, all this stuff, the stock, how everything is shown on the screen. You can get 15% discount with DCOB15. Also, I am in the equities ETC and micro e-futures trading group. They are absolutely phenomenal team, so please come and join us. You get a 7-day free trial. Use the link that I have via the WAP link there, and come join us, learn how to trade with professional traders. It's an excellent time. I guarantee you will get a lot of value out of it. All right, guys, manage your risk. Thank you for your time. Good luck this week. Later.